How time flies. I'm sure, Barney, you must feel like you've been working non-stop. And boy, do you need a break.
But I'm glad I have the whole week off.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I almost forgot. You still think you have this week off. Well, Barney, you just keep believing that. Anyway, we all feel from time to time like we need some time off, and luckily, you've earned some. Some away time is just what you need to relax and forget about all your troubles because it's summertime, Barney! Yippee! How did it become summertime? I don't know. Maybe it happened when you were playing with your wand pen. Anyhow, Barney, I'm sure it's only temporary. I'm certain once you leave here, everything will be back to normal. For now, though, Barney, just play along.
Well, I hope things do return to normal because I don't want to miss my weekend at the zoo.
Well, Barney, don't worry about that. Now it's summertime. I'm sure you've been planning this vacation for months. I mean, you did book that hotel in advance, right?
Well, I haven't had the chance because it was the middle of March this morning.
Yes, well, let's just say that you did book the hotel. And now all you're thinking about, besides nothing, is hitting the beach of some exotic locale. Only, what do you do about your drooling little darling?
Well, you mean my wife?
No, I'm referring to your zombie Hal, not your wife. I mean, you don't want to keep Hal locked up. He'll be lonely. Of course, you could just put Hal in a zombie kennel, but you're not too keen on that. Perhaps, though, Barney, there's a better idea.
Well, what would that be?
Well, what do you think is a good idea, Barney?
Well, I could lock Hal up in a freezer.
Well, considering I just said not to lock Hal up, and in a freezer no less, maybe you could try another idea.
Oh, I know. I'll lock up Hal in a large walk-in freezer.
Look, I guess you're just not getting it. Try something not involving locking Hal up in any kind of freezer.
Is this a quiz?
No, Barney, it's not some sort of quiz. Lucky for you, though, right?
Well, I'd like to know what the answer is then.
Well, if you can hold your pants on, I'll tell you the answer. Hopefully before your brain explodes. What am I saying? You don't have a brain. Try, Barney, not to be such an impatient jerk. You do realize that even your buddies, Jerry and Tom at work, have noticed this serious character flaw, among others. Let's face it, though, Barney, you have so many that this one is way down on the list. So my advice to you is to prioritize and really work hard on the most important ones first. Like your lack of intelligence. Try that one.
Is this tip a clue to the answer? Some sort of hidden code that needs a special decoder?
Barney, seeing how I didn't include any special decoder, I'm afraid it's not. Perhaps you should rethink this tip 10 times and pay especially close attention to the part lack of intelligence. There is a big clue right there. At any rate, Barney, the answer is to take your little dead chum with you. You know how much your little dead guy loves being outdoors, especially where there's plenty of walking on trails nearby. Hal will be in zombie heaven.
Is there a zombie heaven?
Well, no, of course, there's still real zombie heaven.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah, I know, Barney, too bad. Still, I do think you'll find this answer to be a win-win for the both of you. No, there aren't any prizes. So now, with that little dead problem solved and out of the way, it's time to start packing. Here, be sure to take along an appropriate change of clothes. Maybe a muzzle if you got one.
Yes, for my wife.
No, Barney, not for your wife. Also, a leash for sure.
Well, yeah, Nicholas definitely needs one of those.
No, it's not for Nicholas. Lastly, you'll need a good, strong shackle.
Is that for Zombie Hound?
Yes, of course, it's all for Zombie Hound. Who else, Barney, would it be for?
Well, what should I take then?
Barney, just take whatever you like. It's your vacation.
Well, I just thought maybe you'd have some good ideas.
I don't know. Take a suitcase stuffed with Warren's diapers and hamburgers. I'm sure you'd love that.
Boy, that's a great idea.
Yes. How did I know you would say that? Anyhow, Barney, the main thing to remember is to take anything that will keep your zombie guy from getting you into trouble.
You mean like a hand grenade?
No. The idea, Barney, as you may recall, is to not get you into trouble, or blown up in this case. So just stick to non-lethal measures. Try packing anything you might need to take care of your little decaying chum Hal. Also, take along anything that might keep your lovable little dead dude from biting into other vacationers with his deadly jaws. Just don't bring something stupid like a hand grenade, for example, or anything that explodes for that matter. Remember, Barney, your objective is to keep you and the other living vacationers alive, not to blow up everyone in an inept attempt to stop your zombie from hurting someone. Now, once the packing is all done and you're ready to go, it'll be time to move on to the tricky part of getting Hal, you know, the dead ghoul, on the plane. Here, Barney, it becomes a bit difficult when you plan on taking your dead pal on vacation and you're traveling via the airlines. So you really have to be inventive.
Well, you mean like Thomas Edison?
No, not like Thomas Edison. I just mean you have to be creative.
Well, you mean like Isaac Asimov?
No, not like Isaac Asimov either.
Well, I don't understand what you mean then.
Yes, of course you don't. That's no surprise. Okay, forget it. I guess as usual I'll just have to give you some good ideas since it's obvious you won't have any. First, there are some simple tricks to get your little dead dude Hal on board, like the good old coffin stowaway trick. Now, Barney, the trick is a bit complicated, so I'm doubting you'll be capable of pulling it off. If you can, though, I'm sure you'll get great results. First, though, you'll need to procure a coffin. Then you'll have to contact the airlines in advance to set up the arrangements to transport it. So don't wait until the last minute.
Well, this will be easy then.
Easy, huh? Yeah, sure. But I'm guessing not as easy as your wife. Try putting your pal in a chained-up coffin. Also, Barney, I would recommend to add one little extra touch and to spray paint on it in big, bloody red words, "Dead inside," just for laughs. I mean, really, what else would be? The baggage crew will think that you're a real jokester. Of course, the joke will be on them if they should open it, and out stumbles Hal, your lovable reanimated bag of pus.
Should I use magical chains?
No, just stick to ordinary chains.
But it would be so cool.
Yes, Barney, I know it would be cooler. But seeing how there aren't any, you'll have to make do with just plain ordinary chains. Okay, Barney, let's just put this foolish magical talk aside and continue. Once you're at the airport, I highly recommend that you don't do anything stupid. And with you, that's going to be a very difficult feat. I just wouldn't broadcast that one of your traveling companions isn't amongst the living.
You mean like on some local TV channel?
No, Barney, I'm not saying anything about making an announcement on some local TV channel. I just mean it's best to keep this to yourself. In case you weren't aware. What am I saying? You're barely aware as it is. Anyhow, Barney, the airlines have some pretty strict regulations for what you're allowed to transport.
As strict as zombie regulations?
No, not as strict as zombie regulations, but strict enough regarding the transportation of hazardous waste. So just try to remember that. Now, the other way to get your dead little chum on board is by using my tried and true method of sick aunt, uncle, nephew, cousin, etc., etc. You get the picture.
I don't see a picture here.
Barney, I didn't actually include a picture. Try the sick relative trick. First, procure a wheelchair for your sick, more than possibly dead uncle.
Well, my uncle is sick.
Well, Barney, I don't mean your real uncle. I mean the dead guy. You know, your pet zombie Hal. Now, securely strap your Uncle Zombie Hal into your wheelchair so he can't move about. Then throw some blankets around to obscure his face. You may also want to apply some makeup.
You mean magical?
Yes, magical, of course. It'll help make your Uncle Hal, the dead guy, look a little more livelier. Then head to your gate and hope for the best, because this has never really been tried before. Well, only in theory, that is. Therefore, at this point, I can't really guarantee anything. So good luck, Barney.
But you said it was tried and true.
Well, Barney, as I said, in theory it is. But hey, don't you have a wheelchair to procure and a plane to catch?
Well, when does my plane leave?
Well, I'm not really sure. At any rate, Barney, if all goes as planned, you'll be sitting back in your seat and enjoying your flight to the vacation of a lifetime. Now, if you've opted instead to stuff your little dead chum Hal in a coffin, then hopefully he's resting quietly below in the cargo hold. Then you could just sit back and relax with a glass of wine, or I guess a hamburger. On the other hand, if you didn't stuff your pal in a coffin and you've actually succeeded in getting your little dead pal aboard using the sick relative trick, not only will I be surprised, but I'll also have to make a note that it really is a tried and true method. I also imagine, Barney, if that's the case, then your little dead dude Hal will be sitting nearby. And I guess as long as your pal has been properly restrained, you should be able to relax for a while.
Well, what if Hal has to use the toilet?
Really, Barney? You must be joking, right?
No, of course I'm not joking.
Well, let me just reassure you by saying your little dead dude Hal will never have need of a toilet ever. I mean, you do know that Hal, your zombie, is technically dead, right? Anyhow, I just hope that you have fun on your vacation. Once your plane has whisked you and your dead dummy far and away from me, thank God.